Okay. So, when you have a chronic illness, sorry, I'm looking that way. I should look over here. When you have a chronic illness, hi, Retro Jess. Everybody's here. All my ride or dies are here. Yay. I'm so happy that you guys are all here. So, when you have a chronic illness, you're under constant stress, as I have been the last like several months because things have gotten kind of weird. This can lead to serious anxiety and depression. Even people that aren't chronically ill have anxiety, depression, all kinds of issues, and it does get really, really hard to manage. So, um, these are some things that I do to sort of lift myself up, because there are days when it just gets to the point where you're just like, what am I going to do? Like, I feel horrible. I need to do something quick. And this isn't like stuff like, oh, go to a support group, see your doctor, go to therapy. These are things that you can do immediately or pretty quickly to kind of get yourself out of that hole that you're in. And sorry, I know I'm kind of sweaty. It is like 1,000 degrees up here. But I'll be here for the Cheesemint little while because I gotta work. Okay, that's fine. But thank you for coming in and at least saying hi. I appreciate it. I like to know that people are coming in and at least, saying what's up. My hair looks super long today, by the way. But anyways, so these are some of the things. This is just a short list of stuff that I do to kind of get me going and lift my spirits. So the first one that I found to be pretty effective is reading books. It doesn't necessarily have to be self-help books. It can be any kind of book, a story, anything that interests you. I like self-help books. I like this author. Her name is Toni Bernard. She writes a lot about chronic illness, and she talks about her own journey with chronic illness. She teaches you about Buddhist practices that can help you with your chronic illness. Thank you for inviting followers. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. So I read a lot of her stuff, and it really does help to lift me up right away, especially when I'm feeling really bad, because she talks about her own struggles with chronic health issues. So it feels really good to kind of not feel like you're the only one. Another thing that I do is I meditate. It is easier said than done, but even if you just do 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, you can get into the habit of meditating. And like I said, you make it into habit, and once you do it once, it's easier to do it twice, 3 times, 4 times a day. I do 2 sets of about 30 to 45 minutes of meditation a day, and it does really help me a lot. Let me know if you guys can hear that truck that's right outside. I don't know how loud the microphone is right now, so I'm guessing it is kind of loud. So, meditating helps. It is kind of hard if you have a chronic illness and if you're in pain. It can be hard to focus on your meditation, but I still recommend that you try it. The next thing that I do is I look at something funny. So basically, go on YouTube if you're feeling really down and you need something that's like an immediate pick me up. Go on YouTube, go on Instagram, go on Twitter, find funny accounts, and just look at something funny, read something funny. There's tons of stuff on Twitter that are pretty funny. Instagram has lots of memes. I know this sounds like something really dumb, but it helps me a lot, especially when I need something really quick. You got your phone on you, it's really fast. You just pick up your phone, you look at some funny memes, and you know, and it's like instant gratification. I know instant gratification isn't the best thing, but when you're feeling really bad, it's the best thing that you can do at that moment. So I like looking at memes. I'm kind of weird. I'm an Instagram addict. Um, I'm not a big fan of Twitter, but there's a lot of funny stuff on Twitter, and whatever. There's some people that are all about YouTube videos. Go find a funny YouTube video, and like I said, it's very immediate. It'll get you out of that hole right away. The next thing is you can talk to a friend or a family member. If you have friends or family that are accessible to you, or if you have friends or family. I don't have a lot of friends and I don't have any family that I can talk to, but if you do have that, that is an excellent asset to have. Thank you for all the hearts, by the way. So if you have that person there, call them, talk to them, try to get your mind off of what's immediately going on with you. And that's the other thing too. You know, the reason that I don't have support groups on this list, or you know, finding a support group for your illness online, is because sometimes you can drown yourself in that. And I think it's better to just kind of get out of that. Talk to a friend or family member, but talk to them about something else. You know, don't just talk about your illness. Just say, hey, I'm feeling down. You know, I just feel like talking. Get it off your chest a little bit, and then change the subject to something else, because I do find that it can be very suffocating to constantly talk about your illness and go over that over and over and over again. So that definitely can be bad. So just try to get your mind off of it. I think I skipped something. Let me see where I'm at here. Journaling. Journaling is also really good if you like to write. If you don't like to write, then, I mean, you don't have to journal or anything. But I find journaling helpful when I have something really big happen in my life. You know, when my doctor dropped me, you know, when I have an issue with someone in my personal life, I find that writing it down really helps. So unprofessional. Thank you, Frank. Yes, journaling does. I do find that journaling helps. And the only thing is that what I notice about myself is that when I'm journaling, it's like I feel like I have to write like a novel, pages and pages and pages. And you don't necessarily have to write that much. You just write a paragraph, or just write, you know, a few sentences about your day or whatever. I don't know why I feel obligated to sit down and write my life story. Like, write, you know, whatever happened to me from beginning to end. And it's like all you have to do is just sit there and write a paragraph saying how you feel and why you feel, and that why you feel that way in that moment. So that's the one thing that I would recommend with journaling, because I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you know, I don't like writing and it's just too tedious. You know, my hands get really tired because I'm very weak, so it's hard for me to like write a lot, even though I feel compelled to write a ton. But you don't have to write that much. Just write a paragraph, write a few sentences, and get it out of your system. This is another thing, and this one is kind of complicated for a lot of people, because there are people that have told me that, you know, the holidays and certain seasons of the year are really hard for them because they have a chronic illness and because they sometimes can't participate in certain things. But for me, I do find that it helps to look forward to something. I don't get extra depressed during the holidays. I feel like the opposite happens. The holidays distract me from my my illness and all of the problems that I have going on in my life. So I really like the holiday season. If you're still able to vacation and go somewhere, then I would recommend that you know, have your vacation set ahead of time and look forward to that if you're still able to do that. If not, one of the really tiny things, and this is something that I've been doing lately, is to look forward to the weekend. Here's a little secret, you guys. I've been sneaking out of the house. Some of you guys know I have a lot of issues with the people that I live with. I've been sneaking out of the house on the weekends, and it actually has helped me because I get to look forward to doing something on the weekend. I know this sounds really bad. I know it sounds really bad, but during the week, I'm like, okay, I look forward to Friday night or Saturday night because I'm going to go out somewhere and I'm going to, you know, do something. And it has helped to lift my spirits because there's something that I'm going to do over the weekend. Or you could find like a daytime festival. I went to a car show last weekend. I went to a Japanese festival last weekend. So set up something for the weekend if you're still able to, and do that. If you're not able to go out somewhere, then do something local or something at your home. Like, you know, we have a swimming pool, so okay, I'm gonna go swimming this weekend, you know, because I don't have any other obligations. I don't have to make phone calls. That's another thing, is that I look forward to the weekend because I don't have to make any phone calls to doctors or to whatever Social Security. I can just sit and not feel like, okay, I should be making phone calls. So give yourself something small to look forward to over the weekend. And let's see, where am I at? I think that was number 9. Was that number 9? Yeah, it was number 9. I think I skipped something. I think I skipped number 6. Did I mention this one? Pampering. Do something to pamper yourself. I totally just ruined my whole presentation. It was 12. I know there's like 1,000 slides on here. Do something to pamper yourself. This is something that I don't really do, but I think it's a really good suggestion. You can do it for yourself. I'd pamper you. Thank you, Frank. You can take a bubble bath, or just whatever, a regular kind of bath, or give yourself like a facial or something. I know this sounds really dumb, but I've heard it over and over and over again. And by the way, my stock picture has the little yes, you can do that as well, Retro Jazz. I almost read that out loud. Thanks. You can just whatever makes you feel good. If you like getting massages, go out and get a massage. If you I don't know, if you like chocolate, get yourself a couple different pieces of chocolate and do like a chocolate tasting thing at home, and just a Thai massage. There you go, get yourself a Thai massage. If there's something that you like I said, the chocolate tasting thing, or there's something full service, do that. Do something that will please one of your senses. Taste, touch, sight. If you can still go to, like, I don't know, an art gallery, go to an art gallery and look at some beautiful art or something that will please your senses, because that's sort of a form of pampering and self-care. And this is the complete list. If you guys want to screenshot it, I don't know. There's something on this list at the very end. I know I put support groups. There's other things on this list that I didn't mention, but the last thing on the bottom, this is something that happened to me recently, where I was driving my car. I'm still able to drive. So the last thing on this list says focus on the things you can still do. I was driving my car, because thank God I can still drive. And I drove by, I was driving somewhere and I saw an Army veteran. He was on the divider of the street, and he was missing a leg. And I sat there in my car, and yes, I have a lot of health problems, and I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to me, I guess, but I sat there and I was like, I can still drive. I still have both of my legs. These are great. Thanks for putting this together. Oh, well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that you guys actually are staying with me, and hopefully the broadcast looks okay. So I was looking at him, and he's like missing a leg, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I can still drive. I still have both of my legs. I'm not homeless, not technically homeless. So I kind of felt like I had a lot to be grateful for in that moment, and that really put a lot of things in perspective for me as well. And I mean, it's kind of one of those moments that just kind of hits you, and you're like, oh my God, maybe things aren't as bad as I've made them out to be. And sometimes when you get into that really bad place, into that hole of like sadness and self-pity, you don't see those things. It's not until you see somebody who is in that situation, or who's in a worse situation than you, that you start to realize, maybe things are not as bad as they seem. So that's the last one on the list. Focus on the things you can still do. So that's my list. Like I said, I didn't really talk about support groups that much, because support groups are usually focused on your illness, and that makes it kind of I don't want to focus on any particular illness. These are things that you can do immediately to get yourself out of the hole that you're in. But anyways, guys, that is my presentation. That is Thursday Thoughts, Lifting Your Spirits. That's what I have for today. I hope I did this right. I feel like